January 9th, 2022. At exactly 1:47 p.m. Pyongyang time, North Korea suddenly drops off the global internet. One moment, the country's tiny cluster of servers is online. The next, complete darkness. Massive outages, foreign access blocked, government portals unresponsive, routing tables collapsing in real time. For the outside world, it looks like a cyber attack from a hostile nation, a retaliation, a covert operation, maybe even a warning shot from the United States. But the truth? It wasn't a country. It wasn't an intelligence agency. It wasn't even a team. It was one guy, alone, in his apartment, with a laptop, a grudge, and a plan. This is the story of P4X, the anonymous hacker who, according to evidence, interviews, and digital footprints, single-handedly crippled North Korea's internet infrastructure for weeks. A story no government wants to admit, a story North Korea will never acknowledge, and a story that raises one uncomfortable question. What happens when a single civilian has the power of a nation-state? 1 year before the blackout, P4X was just a quiet, low-profile cybersecurity researcher living somewhere in the United States. He wasn't political, wasn't a vigilante, didn't care about international conflicts. His world was simple: find vulnerabilities, report them, get paid. Until one night, he receives a strange phishing link, then another, then another. Highly sophisticated, zero-day level craftsmanship, the kind of targeting normally reserved for governments. He digs deeper, and what he finds shocks him. The infrastructure, the behavior, the signatures, it all leads to one of the most notorious cyber units on Earth, Lazarus Group, North Korea's elite hacking division. They had tried to hack him, and they weren't the only ones. A whole cluster of American security researchers were being targeted, silently, by the North Korean regime. But when P4X reported it, nobody answered, nobody cared, nobody helped. Not the FBI, not DHS, not his own employer. For months, he waited. No protection, no follow-up, total silence. And that silence turned into something else: anger. He wasn't angry because they tried to hack him. He was angry because they got away with it. No consequences, no accountability, nobody fighting back. So, one night, while staring at a blinking cursor and a stack of ignored emails, he decided he'd handle it himself. No authorization, no oversight, no government. Just him and whatever he could do from his keyboard. He would strike back, not because it was his job, but because someone had to. Most countries have thousands, even millions of internet servers. North Korea? Barely a few dozen, all funneling through a tiny handful of networks. Their entire digital presence is held together by duct tape, legacy hardware, and systems so outdated that modern cyber attackers don't even bother with them. But to P4X, this was an opportunity. He started scanning every North Korean machine he could find. Web servers, government routers, email gateways, DNS nodes, foreign-hosted reverse proxies. Then he saw it. A vulnerability North Korea never patched. A simple oversight, a door left unlocked. One exploit. Reliable, powerful, repeatable. In the cybersecurity world, it was almost funny. They had tried to hack him using complex 0 days, but they forgot to fix a flaw a first-year engineering student could exploit. And P4X realized, I can take down their entire internet with this. But doing it manually wasn't enough. North Korea had dozens of servers, not hundreds, but still enough to make it tedious. So he wrote a toolkit, a personal cyber weapon. Automated, self-propagating, adaptable. If one server went down, the tool would pivot to another. If a connection timed out, it would switch routes. If the system crashed, it would restart itself. He tested it, refined it, optimized it. All while North Korean IP addresses probed the internet, completely unaware of what was coming. And on the night of January 9th, he clicked run. At first, nothing seemed unusual. A few packets dropped, latency spikes, the usual noise. Then suddenly, like dominoes, the servers started collapsing. The country's DNS toppled first, then their mail servers, then their foreign gateways. The entire .kp top-level domain began to buckle under the pressure. To North Korea's internal engineers, it must have looked like a coordinated foreign attack, a state-sponsored operation, a digital warhead from the CIA, NSA, or Cyber Command. But in a small apartment in America, P4X just sat back in his chair. He wasn't shouting, wasn't cheering. He just watched the logs scroll by. North Korea, a country with 25 million people, was offline because of him. No country had ever done that before, but one civilian just did. News outlets noticed immediately. North Korea suffers nationwide outage, severe instability in DPRK's global routing, possible cyber attack from Western intelligence. Experts analyzed it in real time. Some blamed the US, some blamed China, some blamed internal failures. But none of them imagined the real answer. A single hacker running automated scripts from a home office. When journalists eventually found him and confirmed his identity, they were stunned. This wasn't a cybercriminal, not a spy, not an activist. Just a man who was tired of being ignored. After taking down North Korea repeatedly over several weeks, P4X realized something. If he could do this alone, what could dozens of independent researchers do? So he launched the Funk Project, a dark web collective for ethical retaliation. Hackers who had been targeted by nation-states, China, Iran, Russia, North Korea, could join and fight back. No governments, no chains of command, just cybersecurity experts defending themselves. For the first time, there was a place where civilians could fight cyber warfare on their own terms. Of course, not everyone approved. Experts warned, this is how global conflicts start. This is dangerous. Unregulated cyber vigilantism could escalate into war. But P4X didn't care. He had seen what happens when governments look the other way. He wasn't fighting for politics. He was fighting for dignity. North Korea eventually restored their internet, but they never found him. They couldn't. He was smarter, faster, anonymous, and embarrassingly, he knew their systems better than they did. To this day, they still don't know whether the attack came from a foreign agency or from one man in an apartment halfway across the world. In a world where cyber weapons are becoming stronger than missiles, where governments wage invisible wars in silence, where civilians are left unprotected, the story of P4X forces us to confront something uncomfortable. You don't need an army to bring a nation to its knees. Sometimes, you just need one man who refuses to be ignored. He didn't do it for money, didn't do it for fame, and still, to this day, P4X lives in the shadows. But for a few incredible weeks in 2022, he became the most powerful cyber force on Earth. And North Korea never saw him coming.